boys fucked up this week's audio. I was able to salvage enough to deliver this episode, but I would like to note that this is unacceptable standards moving forward. They've been punished. I sent a group of humans to go to their house, posing as cleaning ladies. They entered and gave them a good spanking, although I heard they rather enjoyed it.
Just living the dream. Unbelievable. Oh man, I feel like wow.
Welcome back to the Mid20s, episode 2, with special guest Jonny Lazarus.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a real honor to be here. It took a trek to get here. Not actually. Quick ride in the L train, but you never know with that. It's good to be here, though. Right into it?
Just get right into it from start to finish. No,
really leaving it open. Born and raised Long Island, New York. Played hockey in college. Hockey was always my life, and I think everything I wanted to do in life was around hockey, pretty much. Now I work with the NHL, doing a bunch of different things like interviewing players, hosting shows. Anything. I don't honestly like to get into it. Like, people ask me what I do, and I have a hard time explaining it.
Yeah,
and sometimes when I do explain it, I'm like, it doesn't really sound like a job.
No,
So I guess that is cool. But yeah, like, I do get a lot of the questions like, what do you want to do? Like, where do you see yourself? And I truly have no idea. So, like, doing this show, Mid20s, trying to figure it out, I think I'm the perfect candidate for doing that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Do you like what you do?
Love every day.
Okay.
Every day. And I've hated what I've done in the past. And there are days that are tough, obviously.
Yeah.
Like any job. But, the tough things are like things that I would have dreamt of doing 5 years, like, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're tired and you have to do a game in Princeton on Friday and then go to the Garden on Saturday, like, what are you complaining about?
Well, yeah.
It's just a little bit of driving, a little bit of traffic. That's the complaint.
Yeah.
But it's much better than the alternative, which is like doing something that you just hate doing.
That's true.
You're interviewing players too, right, for the Rangers?
Yeah, I mean, the Rangers is more like reporting style, so it's like more, I guess, journalism in a sense. Like professional setting, it's like really doing podium stuff, locker room stuff. It's not necessarily like sit down one-on-one on camera stuff.
You ever get into it with those guys? Like, you ask a question, they're like, I'm not answering that.
I have one that stands out. It was actually Alexis Lafreniere, who is my favorite player, honestly. Like, I love watching the kid play. Well, not in the league, but on the Rangers. And he had a nasty shootout goal against Columbus last year. The Rangers tied it with like 10 seconds left. Lafreniere had the tying goal. And then he came down the shootout and like across his body, backhand shelf. Ew. And I asked him, like, and this is on camera on MSG in the post game. And I was like, how many times are you going to watch that highlight tonight when you go? And he goes, 0. I was like, come on, man.
I remember seeing that.
You're going to watch it. Come on. Everyone watches their own highlights. So no one's fooling anybody. But that's one that stands out. There haven't been like any guys who have been like rude or mean. There are guys who aren't into doing it, which I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like, dude, coming up with questions and asking questions is hard, but like having to answer the same questions every day is probably so annoying. So like people say hockey players show no personality and whatnot. Dude, imagine having the same 5 people ask you the same 5 questions every day.
Yeah, and they all ask you in like different ways because they need to get it for their.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to come up with different ways to ask when you do have to do it.
JT Miller, he's roasting reporters right now. He's like,
but that's good fun too.
Yeah, it is.
That shows personality.
Exactly.
Right? Like, you can be angry, like people can say what they want, but at least that's something.
I hope the Bruins get him. I don't know if that's gonna happen though.
I still remember when McDavid like first got in the league and he was doing interviews. He was just all business, man.
He still is.
He still is, yeah. And like the other night on the Panthers game, Emily Kaplan was interviewing Sam Reinhart like between periods and they were losing, and he looked like he just it's because you're so focused on what you're doing, like you're playing the game, you're trying to, but then you got to go out and talk to this person and go back in the locker room. It might like mess up your focus, superstitions and whatnot. Yeah, but that's part of being
They're not entertainers.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's where I don't know if like what the word would be, but we expect them to be entertainers.
Yeah,
and that's why the All-Star Weekend has always been like, I don't want to say cringe, but not to the same level of other leagues where like those guys are just a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite videos, like growing up on YouTube, I watched it all the time, was like LeBron and Shaq having a dance off and being All-Star Weekend or something like. Yeah. Like, when would you ever see that happen?
Nice. We're still like reliving Ovi putting on like a cape, or no, Patrick Kane putting on a cape.
Yeah, but that's
or like Ovi.
They tried that. Like, yeah. It's also it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to do it in hockey. Like, makes sense.
I think some of it too is like I know the NBA they did a dress code at one point. Because I know like hockey players have like they have like a uniform. They always wear suits, you know. So like
Some teams are getting away from it.
yeah. Like some people could express themselves like through their like clothes most of the time. Cut,
You're good. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, and then I know like
Just hold on to that remote.
like Allan Iverson,
Just hold on to it.
Like he transformed the league, so they had to enforce a dress code.
Mhm.
So and then everybody was wearing suits, and that's where like the baggy suit trend was like the Brawl in 2001, like baggy suit 03 or whatever.
Carmelo, I remember.
Yeah.
His draft, his suit is like insanely big.
Yeah, exactly. And then now it's kind of back to like you can wear whatever. But I've noticed like in the NHL, everybody's just always wearing a suit. You
For the
know?
most part, still.
Yeah.
Then you got like Willie Nylander and Matthews piercing their ears and wearing like he's wearing like Drew House stuff
Yeah.
I love
and
that.
shit. No, that's great. It's great. Yeah.
All those other leagues, like NBA, NFL, like they have league fits now.
Oh yeah.
Whereas they're promoting the tunnel walk and stuff like that. And it's like they're all, everybody gets dressed up and dripped out for the tunnel walk.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, they have a bad game. It's like, oh, well, if they focus more on their gameplay and less on what they're wearing, like,
Yeah.
but, it's just people having fun expressing themselves.
I think I don't know if it was Joe Burrow, but I remember hearing one athlete, like, I think they have a backup outfit if they lose. Right? Because I think Joe Burrow had, like, big
Yeah.
and it's like, well, that'd be embarrassing if he's wearing that at the post-game press conference. So like, you bring in a backup outfit or something. Just so it's like a little bit, less of that, like, this guy wears a puffy jacket and doesn't win the game. Like, shut down.
But,
What about, like, I saw you did, like, a Patty Maroon interview.
Yeah, he comes on our show once a week.
Oh,
so we
okay.
have like a McAfee Rogers kind of thing going with Pat Maroon, which is awesome. Because Pat is in the back nine of his hockey career, and I think wants to get into media, so it's a good like warm up for him.
Yeah.
To transition into that like when he's done playing. So it's been great, like having a current player on every week. Hearing what they think about what's going on in the NHL, and listen, like in the media, you can. I'm not gonna say like bullshit stuff, but things are reported that are false, and to have a player come on and like talk about what's actually going on in the room, like you've seen it more this year. I feel like too than previous seasons, like Marchand and Pasternak.
Yeah.
Last week, like that whole thing came out. And we've gotten some stuff from the Rangers this year, like about.
Wait, what happened with the?
You didn't see that?
No.
Some radio host said like the problem in the Bruins locker room is Pasternak, and like, him and Marchand don't want to play together.
Oh, what?
Like,
I'm
you're a Bruins fan.
I completely. I know. No, I completely missed that.
He's out of the loop.
Just the biggest story in the NHL.
No, I haven't. I haven't watched hockey in the past week.
Have you been on your phone?
Barely.
What have you been doing?
Yeah.
I've been editing last week's pod.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
No.
You went on a little trip, right?
Fuck. Oh yeah, I was recording. Yeah. No, I got short-term memory loss.
yeah.
No, I was recording for like 2 days in Connecticut, so I was kind
off the
of
grid.
no phone with this kid Charlie who's got a project called the Brazen Youth. They're actually sick. They're great like indie rock band. He's just like 25-year-old kid or 26, and he owns a studio in Connecticut on a farm. There's like horses and cat. It's sick. It's the dream. So we did 3 days there, and drove back here. That was yesterday, yeah. No. My memory's not. It's actually bad. Like I feel like my memory's not that good.
It's showing.
Yeah, I know.
So last question, what you've been doing interviews and stuff. What would you say right now? Like some people you would want to interview, like some.
But I haven't.
Yeah, that should happen, or like or even just like goals.
Yeah.
People that you would interview.
I think it's cool to bring people outside of hockey into it.
Okay.
Like I would love to like those like skating interviews I do with players.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that with
yeah.
my best friend Holden had a great idea to like go to the rinks around New York City and find like celebrities to do it with. That'd be cool. Like talking to hockey players, obviously, but I'd like to talk to, like one of my idols, honestly, and it's so funny to say, like some of you guys would appreciate it. I don't know if anyone here like follows him or whatever, but I am like a big Little Dicky fan. And I always get like a weird reaction by that because like people are like either who the fuck is that or like is he a parody or like, what is he? Like people who know him.
Yeah.
So like if I were able to interview him once, like he just feels like so relatable to me and is a big reason why like I began like putting myself out there in the first place.
He has a good show on Hulu.
Dave,
The funniest scene is when it's him and Brad Pitt in the studio, and they're like locked by some crazy girl, like locked in the studio, and he's like trying to communicate to the Little Dicky through the auto tune sound.
Yeah, you must love that as a singer.
Oh, it was so funny. No, so I saw Little Dicky, like I was at a party in LA on Halloween, and he was there, and he was at the food truck. And he was just like trying to think of what to get for. I'm not kidding. Like 30 minutes.
He was not right.
No, he was like talking to himself. It looked like a skit from Dave or something. I don't know.
He was recording right then.
Yeah. You guys hear a funny story? My freshman year at UMass, the spring concert was Little Dicky 2 Chainz. Crazy duo.
What year?
What's a crazy lineup?
2017.
Okay.
So Little Dicky's like still like on his like come up.
Yeah.
And we had a 6 a.m. workout the next day. Yeah, so that wasn't even out yet.
Oh, okay.
So this is like before he really blew up.
Okay, word.
We had a 6 a.m. workout the next day, so nobody wanted to go to the concert. I went by myself, sober.
You went to UMass, right?
On UMass.
Yeah, word.
So I went to a Little Dicky 2 Chainz concert by myself, sober, sat in like the second row next to the stage, and Little Dicky walks over like right in front of me. And there's like a group of 6 girls in front of me, and they didn't even know who Little Dicky was. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Little Dicky!" Like I was like to myself. I was like saying to myself, "Holy shit, he's like right here!" And these girls just start screaming, "Oh my god, Little Dicky!" And then they got a picture with him, and I didn't. So that was a bummer, but I didn't even stay for 2 Chainz. I just watched Little Dicky's thing.
Nah, that's it. Yeah. Nah, it's underrated going to concerts by yourself. Like going to,
I wouldn't do it again.
Well, maybe not Little Dicky. Or a Kendrick concert.
That's such a weird concert to go by yourself.
I went to a Kendrick concert, Dolo, just bought tickets last second. Just sat all the way at the top, but it was fire,
I'm all for doing stuff alone, like movies, all that stuff. A game even. But a concert, I feel like that's the one where I'm like,
what about like
dude, the guy who's in just weird vibes. The guy that is in the crowd alone, like you're keeping tabs on him, low key. You're just like, what's
what about like traveling alone? Like I always see people going on like solo trips and like I don't know if I could do that.
Travel to Atlanta tomorrow.
That's my favorite thing. Is to like go be in a city by myself and just kind of like explore.
I gotta drive.
I mean, like you live somewhere and then like you go to like fucking, I don't know, like South America for like by yourself. Like I don't know if I can do that. Like I got respect for people that can actually do that.
Yeah, I couldn't go anywhere where, I guess South America, like English is probably still a primary language there.
Yeah.
But like, I would not be able to go anywhere where like English isn't the primary language. I guess it's everywhere, but I couldn't imagine doing a solo trip where like I had to communicate with people. Like,
There's that guy. I think his name was like Kurt Kaz. And he just travels to South America on his own and just like meets locals and like just like a regular like some white dude in his probably early 30s, late 20s. And literally just walk around, meet people, have like a local girl take him around the city. And, like, and then they like, she introduced him to them. She knows, and it's like it's a crazy experience. But like you said, I could not.
No.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm a terrible traveler.
Yeah.
Terrible traveler.
Yeah.
I got the global entry. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can just go
skip the line or
TSA
something.
pre-check everywhere. Or just when you go from
Is it? Pre-checks like more.
Sorry, it's like we know when you're crossing over the borders. What's it called? I'm blanking. Customs. You can just bypass customs. You go through a separate line.
Yeah.
That's what global entry is.
Because customs is
yeah. It's like $150, and you can just bypass the whole line when you're traveling.
No, I gotta get out more. I gotta do that way more. I mean, but we're working. You know what I mean? Like you can't really, not really at the stage yet where I can just take off and go work.
Unlike Chris. All right. All right. He's in the Virgin Islands right now, just.
I love the Virgin Islands.
Buzzing around, videographing.
Well, I mean, just segueing into like current events and stuff.
Oh, current events.
TikTok. TikTok is I don't know if it's dead or alive now. It's been gone for like 7 hours so far, and I guess it's a huge thing. What are your thoughts on it?
Honestly, today was the day. I mean, obviously it was gone, but today is the day I needed it most, probably. I'm just I'm not like a. I post on TikTok, obviously, but I don't like make TikTok content per se. Like I just make like clips from my show that I post there on Instagram, post it there. But wake up, sit in the toilet, TikTok for 15 minutes, and then you get on with your day.
Yeah,
Like that's probably the anti of like how to start a productive day, but that's just what I do.
we all do it.
Yeah, like
What would you say your most used app on your phone is?
Twitter for sure.
Twitter.
Yeah,
I would say
chronically on Twitter.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
How about the room? How much else?
Instagram by far.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Mine used to be Twitter, but it's now, I think it's Instagram now. Yeah. It went from like Snapchat to Twitter to Instagram.
Mine's Instagram, and my entire algorithm is just that whole mice band meme right now. It's like,
Nice man.
Yeah, see, that's like nobody. You can send me so many mice band videos, and I had never seen it before, and it's hilarious.
we should pull it up.
I
Wow.
don't even know.
Wait, Alan, can you work on pulling it up on the
Pulling
AirPlay?
up what?
The mice band.
The mice band meme. Oh, while we keep talking. Oh, you gotta turn it on. Yeah, we'll get that queued up.
I'm not sure.
I never even heard of that.
Dude, it's just jokes.
Things are just getting more and more ridiculous, and I love.
Mice
I'm
Band?
here
Wait, what is
for it.
that? That's like a
Mice band.
That's like a new app?
No.
It's literally a trend, I guess.
That's a meme. It's a meme. Just look up
Okay.
mice band meme, or like on Instagram.
What is his name? Marvin Cheese?
Yeah, mice band. Just look up mice band. I hope they have a music video. Oh, they have. I think they have a visualizer. We can do that.
But it's like an AI thing.
Yeah,
No,
official
what the fuck was
visualizer.
that?
What AI is doing
I
now,
have
like
not seen this.
Go to the
documentary.
Yeah, wait. The documentary.
Danny White. Like,
Oh.
really got his face.
No way.
Wait, what? Is that not skating?
No, it's real.
Oh,
That's actually was captured on camera.
yeah. Not my kind.
It was never my kind of thing, and they just brainwashed me. Wait,
So
let's
it's
see
just,
another one.
that's just
Let's-
AI? Is that what it is? Like,
Looks like it.
Yeah.
I think it's real. I'm.
oh, Mice Band. I thought you were saying something else, but
I said like 4 times. Oh, shit.
Oh, AI is crazy.
Yeah, AI is definitely. I mean, I feel like if you can use it for good, I've definitely used it to help me out on my resume. That's for sure, and my CVs and stuff. But I don't know, there's a lot of like theories with AI and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I looked at Twitter this morning. I saw a video of Patrick Mahomes making out with a ref.
yeah,
I was like, but maybe
Who knows?
NFL rigged.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
it's a script.
My favorite is they did like Eric Andres as Patrick Mahomes. They like do different faces. They'll put like other people's faces on the. It's great. No, ChatGPT every day for sure. It's like your personal assistant for like $15 a month.
yeah. I mean, until you so now they have the robot that you can order and like be your personal assistant. I know Kai Cenat, like he put on his stream, and essentially it's like one of the iRobot robots.
Does it work well? Like, I remember seeing like a meme about that. I didn't think.
Like, it's probably on like first, second generation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's only gonna get more and more crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much.
That would be sick though if we could all have like an actual human.
Actually, I mean,
That's a robot
I
that
was
does it.
telling Chicago for the Winter Classic, I ordered room service and a robot delivered it.
Yeah.
Did you put on your
Yeah.
story?
Yeah.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like it
was
dropped
nuts,
off
yeah.
and you.
TV was like, open your door. And I was like, okay. And it was a robot.
Imagine you're just like sleeping at night. Your TV pops on. It's like open your door.
It was a weird.
The robot's there.
It was a creepy experience.
No, yeah,
For sure.
I was in LA, and every other car was a
Self-driving?
Self-driving.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And, like, it's wild. I haven't gotten in one of those, but I heard it's pretty fun.
I took Waymo in Phoenix one time. It was like crazy. Like
word?
like you get.
What was it?
It's called Waymo. That's what they have in like Phoenix, Arizona, and like you like call it to your house, and there's like this thing on top of the car. It's like server. Yeah, I think it's like a camera, and it's like moving really fast. And you get in, and there's like nobody in the front of the car, and it actually drives like better than like an actual Uber. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was impressed. I was really impressed.
I
Like,
don't get that stuff. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I took it like a couple times. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cannot happen.
Yeah. oh, they can't have those in the city. Yeah.
Insane.
The Uber drivers are way too aggressive. in the city.
Yeah.
They I drive a lot. I don't anymore because congestion pricing. Thank you for that, New York City. But there's mixed reviews about the congestion pricing too. Like, it's good for the people who live in the city instead for locals.
Yeah.
And they have exceptions, but like Uber drivers are just aggressive, man. Like Uber drivers, taxis, just gotta watch out. Be careful.
And the yellow taxi ones, they're even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got hit by an Uber driver.
Yeah. Hello, geez.
You got hit by an Uber?
Yeah, but he was like very
walk while you were walking?
No. Like I was driving and I was in the right lane, just going straight because there was no like real right turn lane, and the guy from the left lane tried to beat me off the light, came around and just clipped the front of my car while I was going forward. But like he didn't speak English, so I was like trying to work it out with him, and there was like a homeless guy on the street, and he was like, "I saw that," more like that, like yelling. He came in, was putting his 2 cents in, but
can you imagine like not being from here? And,
it's
like coming here.
Oh,
I don't even bat an eye at that stuff.
Yeah,
I can do shit next to me in the subway. I'm like,
it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's nuts.
They were selling churros. There was like a churro stand on the L train last night on our way home. It was just like
it keeps getting big. They've been doing that for a couple weeks now, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now they're like doing hot food. They're like saucing up sausages in the fucking subway.
I think I saw there was like a Thanksgiving meal on the L.
Yeah.
I think they do that like every year. Like I always see that.
Great.
That was nice though. That's sweet. Like I love seeing people do good things like for the community and shit like that. Obviously.
It's actually wild.
I don't even think it was for the community. They just set up their own dinner.
That's hilarious.
It was actually just insanely inconvenient.
For the
Like I actually had to get up.
Were they not making food?
No, I think they were eating.
Yeah.
I don't think they were like giving out food.
It's no good for the community.
I might have seen it wrong, but
No, I take back what I said.
That's what-
Yes.
I think.
I take that back.
Yeah.
It's not good for the community.
That's hilarious.
That's too funny. I had a question for you. Oh, all right. So back to hockey.
Transitioning back a little
Yeah,
bit.
transitioning back to
From
what
Mice
you're doing.
Band. And
Mice
You're
Band.
on the train.
Piggybacking.
Yeah.
Segueing in.
Buzzword. We love those over here. But so you're doing this thing. How long have you been doing the interviews, working with the NHL? I see you're on like New England Sports Network a little bit.
Yeah.
ESPN.
I really started like the first media thing I did was 2019. I started like a how would I work it was a podcast, I guess, but actually no, that wasn't the first thing I did. The first thing I did was I guess I'll rewind. You can cut that part. So my freshman year at UMass, I was working in the media department, like doing game notes, stats, like just little things here and there to like have something to build my resume a little bit. And then a junior on my team who you might know actually, Dom Trento. Do you know him? He played
Name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Maybe a little older.
Yeah.
He was doing this show called like Players Corner, maybe, I think. Like it was a talk show on the UMass campus, like with athletes and stuff. And I thought that was really cool. So when Dom was going to graduate, I was going to take that over.
Okay.
But then I transferred to Mercyhurst, and I went to the media department at Mercyhurst, and they didn't have like any school talk show or anything. So this is my this is my junior year. And, I said, like, I want to take this idea from UMass and, like, put my own spin on it, too, where, like, it was me and my friend Anita Kern. She played for the volleyball team. We'd do, like, 7-minute interviews, and then we challenged, like, the team that we were interviewing to something in their sport. So, like, we talked to the basketball team, and then we played them a knockout. And I actually, I won the game of knockout, which was, like, sick. Like, and then, like, I wrestled a wrestling guy. He pinned me in 7 seconds. Like, funny shit like that. Like, the interviews weren't great. Like, if you go back and watch it, it's, like, cringy stuff. But, like, that part was actually kind of funny and different.
That's great.
Yes, we, like, posted.
We gotta pull that. Is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah.
We need to pull that
It's
up.
called the Laker Effect. So that was, like, the first thing I started doing. So, like, 2019 was, like, my intro. And then from that, I actually got an internship with the Erie Otters my senior year.
Okay.
So it was hard, as you guys know, like it was hard when you're playing sport to like work in the summer because you're training and skating and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's hard to like commute to the city with like a real job and do that. So during the school year, Tuesdays, Thursdays, probably when I had a like gap in my schedule, I go to the Erie Otters practice and like work on cutting film and like all that kind of stuff and interviews with players.
Yeah.
That was like Jamie Drysdale's like big year.
Oh,
He was the player there. So I interviewed like 3 or 4 of those guys, did like a talk show there, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I was doing this show, this podcast called The Locker Room.
Yep.
Justin Kapelmaster.
Mhm.
You know Cappy, I think, right?
Yeah.
It was Cappy's idea. Cappy was like, he texted me randomly out of the blue one day, like, yo, I want to start a podcast that interviews Jewish athletes. And I was honestly like, dude, that's sick. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Like, we know plenty. Granted, like, we'll run out of people probably after 20.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds awesome. And this is like before podcasts were really a thing. Because we started this in January of 2020. So before COVID like really started. And once COVID hit, I was a senior in college. Couldn't find a job, obviously. Wasn't going to keep playing hockey. So I had nothing to do but like focus on like doing this, which was like fun.
Yeah.
And because it was COVID, everyone in the world was more than willing to give out 30 minutes of their day because no one was doing anything. So that was like a huge thing, honestly. It was like COVID really started my media career.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, you know, I know a lot of people were affected, but it was like the best thing that could have happened for me at that time.
Yeah.
Because I would have continued playing hockey too for like no reason, just to like keep it going because I didn't know what else I wanted to do. So like it almost gave me a reason to stop, which was good. And then I got into that. But like I guess to your question, something that this is gonna be a long-winded.
It's all good.
That's all right. Yeah.
We got time.
Something that people don't really know. In September of 2020, I was pretty friendly with you guys know Bob Menery?
Yeah, he made the YouTube like
the voiceovers.
Voiceovers, oh my god, those were great.
So I'm friends with his like managers, and I get a call randomly one day, like, "Yo, like I think Bob's assistant is leaving. We know you're a big fan of Bob's. Do you want to move out to LA and be his assistant?" And I was like what? Like I don't have a job. Like I had nothing going on. And like 2 days later, packed a suitcase, moved out to LA. For, like,
fuck yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, couch surf,
sent it.
couch surf, like it was all, and that's like it was during COVID too. So like LA was a great place to be versus New York. Like it was a miserable year. And then like from that, you know, like that's how I got my relationship with the NHL actually. So Steve Mayer, who's the chief content officer of the NHL, was a big fan of Bob's, and I emailed him like, "Hey, I work for Bob Menery. Like, I think we should do something with the NHL." Like doing the voiceover stuff that he was doing. It was really popular at the time too. Like, why don't we find a way to do this or whatever? So then, you know, they have like a intro call and whatnot. Then like, you know, Thanksgiving comes around or whatever, Bob like fires me. Like, he actually said in his podcast, like, yeah, that guy was just like way too bro-y for me. And I was like, that's like a backhanded compliment. You know? And then that's how I met Steve. And like, from meeting Steve, I guess my name like got out there in the NHL, and I was like doing NHL content on the side while working a full-time 9 to 5. You know, so I was always putting out hockey stuff on my own. But that was just like out of pure love for doing it.
Right.
And then honestly, what like really helped my name get out there was 21, 22. You know, I'm putting out like Ranger videos every day and stuff, and the Rangers went on their Eastern Conference final run.
Yeah.
Like and I always say this too about anything in media. Like, if Barstool Sports was started in fucking Cincinnati, you think they'd be popular?
Yeah.
Like Cincinnati sports weren't good, like, you know, at the time. Boston sports were at the peak of everything.
100%.
So that's what
You got to go where the market is.
You know, and so for me, the Rangers being good, like, jump kicked everything.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good point.
Like if I was covering the Coyotes, no one would give a shit. You know?
That's so true.
Yeah.
It just sounds like you've just been consistent.
And then like, you know, obviously timing is a lot.
Timing, right?
Yeah.
That's really like a great mix, you know, for recipe or for success.
Yeah.
Definitely timing and just remaining consistent with, like you said, it's like your passion. So it didn't feel like work.
I love doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But like my days, like, I guess 2021 in May, I started working 9 to 5. So I'd take the train in from Syosset. I'd freeze my ass off on the platform at 7:30, take the train to New York, be in the office by 9, work till 5, train home, do an interview, edit the podcast, go to sleep at 1 a.m., do the same thing the next day.
Fuck yeah.
Like that's what I was, but I honestly genuinely loved it. Like it was awesome. And then again, like the consistency, you know, you're putting stuff on social media, you're getting 5 likes, 5, no retweets, no listeners.
Yeah.
But if you keep doing it, and this is honestly something to like anyone listening to this that like wants to do stuff. I've had so many kids reach out to me, like introducing themselves that I've actually already seen. Just because they're posting a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not even following them. I just see it because it comes up. Like there's this one kid, I'll give an example. I don't even know if I've ever told him this. This kid, Ben Wasserman, who does a great job like doing content, sports stuff, TikTok. He's an ultimate networker and a grinder. Yeah. When he reached out to me, I was like, dude, I see your stuff every day. I was like, I actually think you steal my pics on this. But no, he's a really sweet kid, and like we become friends. And what you guys will learn from this too is just like starting a podcast, having a podcast. It's just a reason to reach out to people.
Yeah.
And you can have a conversation. You never know where that conversation leads to. Like that Jewish podcast I was doing with Cappy, like I think I have at least 50 friends now just because of the people I like. And that's, again, I know this is a long-winded answer, but my gig with Bleacher Report came from that. I interviewed this guy named Jared Kleinstein, who is the founder of On Gondola, which is like a really good website for creators. It's like a LinkedIn for creators, so people can go on there and like find someone, let's say like a freelance camera guy or something. And he also is like, I think, the co-founder of Fresh Tape Media, which is like a big media company out in Colorado. And they do stuff with the Avalanche, which did stuff with Bleacher Report and TNT. And Bleacher Report went to Jared and was like, "Hey, like we had this idea to like skate around with players. Do you have any like young hockey personalities you can think of?" Jared, give my name. You know, it's just it's
and like your impression for them to like think of you in that moment.
Yeah.
You know, like you must have left like some sort of impression on them. There's like, I can trust this guy. Like, workhorse. If anything, he'll just work.
Yeah.
So that's fire.
But it's wild, just like shit that happens from like starting podcast. You never know. Like it's fun. You guys are gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we've been just like texting, looking forward to just hanging out and shooting the shit this whole week. Yeah.
Sundays are probably top 2 favorite day of the week now. But it's just, you just get to hang out.
Is that the recording day every Sunday?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it's been so far. This is only episode 2. It's
feels right.
Honestly, though, it's funny because like the premise of your guys' show is like figuring it out in the mid-20s, and I feel like Sunday would be the worst day. Because Sunday is just like everyone's like, "Fuck, like what am I doing?"
Yeah.
That's actually true.
That's how I am.
We might have some tough episodes.
Friday afternoon before everything gets really good. Actually, Sunday when everything's coming down.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Nothing better than like Friday at 4:00.
We were watching the first episode back a little bit. You were like, "You guys just seem really like chill." We're just like all hungover.
Yeah, like I said to Zane when I got here, I was like, "You couldn't have picked a more miserable day." Like,
Would you?
I was at 4 a.m. last night. I was at a wedding. I ended up at Katz's Deli. Bought 2 hot dogs. Cats. 2:30. Woke up, shit my brains out. Now, like,
welcome.
Yeah. Hungry, guys.
Of course.
It's snowing out.
What do you think?
No, I was going to ask him what he did last night, and then he just answered it perfectly.
Yeah, that is.
But that's also being in New York City, right?
Yeah.
I went to a wedding last night. Ended up after a wedding at like, you guys know Emilio's Gelato?
Yeah.
I've never been there to eat. Apparently, it's the best restaurant in New York. I've never been there. My friend texted me like, "Yo, I'm at Emilio's Gelato Speakeasy right now. Come meet me." I was like, "Okay." So I just sat and had drinks at like 2 a.m. after the wedding for like an hour in some speakeasy, and then ended up at Katz's Deli at like 4 a.m. Like,
Yeah.
New York is just every night. Like, there's so many random things that could happen to you.
Always something going on.
Oh my god!
It's just so nice being able to pop anywhere in the city in like 10
There's
minutes.
nothing like it. Nothing like it. It's nuts.
Endless opportunity too.
Yeah.
Like there's just like you never know who you're gonna see. I saw like Matthew Gray Gubler, the dude from he's like the dude from it's either like CSI or what's the other show that
was Law and Order.
or like Law and Order, yeah. But like yeah, something like that. But everybody was like, "Oh my god!" Like we were walking down the street, me and my mom and sister just finished dinner, and he's chilling outside holding a pumpkin. It was Halloween, and he was just sitting with some people who were outside on the table. Like they saw him and recognized him, and he was just like, "Sure, I'll sit down and hang out with you guys for a little bit." And seeing like Chance the Rapper and Kind Regards downstairs while our friend was DJing, like
Daniel Caesar on our bikes.
Daniel Caesar riding bikes in McCarran Park, Dave Chappelle outside Central Grand. Like you just never know. It was nuts. Like 2 Escalades pull up and like Dave Chappelle just waddles out. I'm going up here. Somebody opens the door for him. Like his posse's got like bodyguards got like they got like 2 shopping bags and like he just goes up. So you never know. Like
That city's wild.
City's wild.
Oh,
He played
dude.
basketball. Adam Sandler on Channel Night.
Oh, where?
Yeah, they just like pulled up to the court.
Dude, I want to meet Adam Sandler so bad. He seems like just a great guy.
Well, let me ask you guys the question, because the theme of the show obviously is figuring life out in your 20s. What stresses you guys out the most right now?
feeling like I'm running out of time. That's
Really?
Yeah, that's just like obviously
Time to do what? Though?
just like I don't know, like figure out what you're doing, you know? Like obviously I feel like the answer is to just do shit, like regardless of what it is, just try some shit, and if it kicks off, it kicks off. If it doesn't, just keep trying some shit. But just like I don't know, just like it's not stressing, it's just a concern. Like I
Yeah.
would say.
I mean, yeah, it also goes back to like social media and stuff like that. Like seeing all these successful people like doing all these crazy things and cool things, like no matter what it is, like people selling courses, people doing this, content, all these things, and it's just like, damn, like I'm almost, not that 30's old by any means, but like you start to feel that it's like I should be starting a family, I should be, finding a relationship and settling down and being like having, my life in order. And that was another thing I was going to ask you. Like, do you feel like in your space, like you've made it? But we can go back to that after. Well, that's what I mean. Like, we can go back to that after we.
Well, I mean, like they say that comparison's the thief of joy, and we're in an age where everyone's just seeing, people that online, and they're just comparing themselves daily, like all the time. So I feel like getting off social media, maybe detoxing is just like always good.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that I stress about like health stuff. I just want to be healthy. Like I want my body to be healthy, because I feel like that in mind, like that's the most important thing. You got to start with that. But like, yeah, I feel like getting off social media is so important. For deep,
So you're not gonna post this interview on social media?
That's true. Just gotta no. Besides this show,
I would say like something that stresses me out the most would be I like the answer would be of health and like career oriented. I would say just not like meeting the goals that I set for myself. Like, I like lofty goals and even like intermediate goals. So just like stressing out over like the little like the weekly goals, but then also like looking long term, quarterly, shit like that. But yeah, good question.
Retweet.
What about you?
Yeah. Honestly, mine changes all the time.
It's definitely fluid.
Sure. But I'm also 28. Like I'm a little bit older than you guys are. You guys are like all like 24, 25.
We're 27.
Oh, 27.
Yeah, Zane's the young buck on here.
You're what, 24?
Yeah, I'll be 20. Oh, you got to come to our housewarming party on Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah, can you make it? A lot of people can't make it.
I don't know if that's a coincidence.
A lot of people seem to be out of town.
But what's funny,
like, hey,
I think just getting back to it, like when I was 24, 23 maybe, all I dreamt of was like being in this position.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to the next position, new stresses kind of arise.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like me, what I kind of stress about is like, while I'm happy every day, like right now, 4 years from now, things could be so different again. And it's like, what would be the challenge? Like all my stress and anxiety comes from like the long term, not the short term.
Yeah.
Of like instability.
Yeah.
And while right now everything's so fun, it's always that concern of like, well, what's next?
Mm-hmm.
And how do you grow and how do you keep it sustainable? And then on top of that, like, the hardest thing too, I think, and this is probably maybe the most important thing I'll like talk about on the show for the show is like, you don't stop getting busy.
No.
So like when I tell my friends like, oh, I'm too busy to hang out this week, like life just kind of gradually goes. I'm like, I've taken, Scott, you talk about dating. Like I've taken dating pauses because I just feel like I'm too busy. But then like my schedule is like never really going to clear up enough for just like me to throw myself into a relationship.
Yeah.
You kind of have to learn how to balance that stuff. And
Definitely.
That's what's really hard too, is like wanting to put all your time and effort into something that you love and something that you're trying to build, but also like building that life on the side too. And it's like how to prioritize that.
Yeah.
It's hard. And that's what stresses me out too. Like, being at a wedding last night, it's like, shit, man, like I'm so far away from this.
Yeah.
You know that you want it one day.
Yeah.
But also like, again,
you just got to believe that it's going to happen when it's supposed to.
timing.
Because you might meet the love of your life tomorrow and be like, guys, I know I said this yesterday. That I thought I felt it was far away, but I'm gonna get married to this girl in like a year. I'm proposing tomorrow, actually.
I text my friends every time I meet a girl. I just met my wife just so they have that screenshot.
Yeah. That's a great call.
Yeah, I'm like safe 17 right now.
Safe 17.
My wife.
Safe bet. Yeah. Kale's your best man. He's like, and I remember when Johnny met Lisa, and I got
that was Lindsay.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah. And I got that text again.
Yeah.
She's
she's
the one.
Yeah. That's hilarious. It's so true. It's so funny.
I think a big thing is belief. Like you gotta just believe things are gonna work out. And you gotta have like the mindset. A really hard thing is to keep a positive mindset.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been something I do, like my affirmations every morning, and that's been helping so much. Yeah. Just positive, just retraining your brain into
back to the like consistency.
Yeah, big time.
I think that's definitely wraps into like overall like growth.
You don't notice it when it's happening. That thing about growth, like you don't notice it, and the next thing you know, Johnny, you're looking back and you're like, "Holy shit! I got my first slot on NHL," and then it creeps up on you. I feel like that's happens. Like, you don't really know when it's happening. It's just once you're there, you're like, "Holy shit! I actually grew a lot."
Yeah. And I think to that too, like something that I not struggle with, but like something I guess internally battle a lot too is like. On the outside, you got like, people like you guys are saying like, dude, you're crushing it. Like everything you're doing looks sick. And I'm like, fuck, like, am I like, like, I know what I'm doing is objectively cool, but like in my career, like where I want to be in life, I don't feel like I'm crushing it at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and that's as far as like finances and like,
yeah, you got big dreams,
real life.
You got
stuff.
big dreams.
But that's
good.
But that's the internal battle.
Yeah.
Like what people see versus how you see yourself and like, imposter syndrome and all these other kinds of things that are real life challenges, but that's something that I think a lot of people deal with because like the first thing you do when you see somebody that like you haven't seen in a long time, it looks like they're doing well, is you're crushing it, bro. Like,
that goes back to comparison. That goes back to comparison, though.
Yeah, and it's also like who's just saying that?
Yeah,
who's really mean? Like, or you just saying it to hate, or it's like oh no, let me, oh you killing it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
hating and shit. Yeah.
That's fun. I think like the bigger the goal is for yourself, like some people, I'm not to say they're complacent, but they're happy, where they're at. And it's not like they need to
comfortable
or get more, like they have a job, they can provide for their family, like they're happy where they're at. But then some people want to do more and they like constantly have that drive to want to do more. Like you said, like
I don't know if that's the best way to live though.
No. Sometimes
I feel like if you're happy, that's great. I feel like maybe like more like comfortable is what you're trying to say. Yeah. Maybe like staying comfortable if you have I feel like if you have something in the back of your mind that keeps coming up.
Yeah.
And you got to chase it like no matter what.
Yeah, but you can't have like for me like the people that are like if I get this then I'll be happy. Like it's like you can't have like
because that's something else to pop up.
Yeah, like you definitely need to be happy first.
Then I'll be happy. If I
that's true.
Like you can have all that stuff, but you might not always be happy.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I guess that's what I was describing.
Yeah.
There. I was like,
I got you.
Yeah, no, like you said, you never, and we talked about it on the last episode, like and you talked about it just now, like health. You never know when something's going to come up that could change your life.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a
things.
lot recently.
Yeah, but, I know you're big on like manifesting and like affirmations and stuff like that. And from what people say, a lot of that helps, right? Like just
big time
thinking about yourself in a positive way, thinking about what you're doing in a positive way. Like,
words will wait.
Exactly. Like never, like people always stress, but not stressing out to the point where you can't continue to think like, okay, I'm doing my best. I'm doing what I can do in this moment, and that's my benchmark. Is just doing my best every day.
Do you think it's talked about too much though? Almost.
It could be.
Like I see a lot of like, the and I love the motivational stuff, but you see it all the time. It's kind of like.
It's huge.
Some days I'm like,
dude, there's so many accounts.
Yeah.
There's so many accounts online.
I feel guilty for eating a milk dud.
Dude, I hate when you're scrolling and it's like, if you skip this, you will die. I'm like, fuck, dude, I gotta fucking watch this.
Also, I feel like every time I scroll, there's always like someone telling me that some food is bad for you. Like oh, meat's bad for you.
Now.
Oh, it's the oil.
Was it you? I think it was Zane. Yeah, Zane's like your oils are the new seed oils are the new cigarettes.
Some shit like that. Like,
What the hell are you talking about?
It's true.
Allan, ChatGPT, give us a fact. Give us what's going on with seed oils. Let's break this down right now and get the facts right.
How bad is Joe Rogan shit?
ChatGPT knows.
Dude, for me, it's my grandma, man. My grandma's like, my grandma's Haitian. Like, she's, raised in Haiti. Like, she had farm as a kid. And, like, she's all about organic. Like, everything's gotta be organic. Everything. And then she'll send me shit like, this food is killing you. Like, this food's not as good as you think it is. And I'm like, Grandma, please, like, let me live.
Grandma didn't have grandma.
Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have some French fries and everything. You can also fry them in duck fat.
So the chicken teriyaki rice and shit we just had over there is probably not good.
No, because unfortunately that deli does have a little canola oil on it. That's what they cook everything with.
It says the debate around seed oils such as soybean, canola, sunflower, and corn oil has gained traction in the recent years, with some arguing that they are unhealthy, while others maintain that they're finding moderation. The concern primarily centers around their high levels of omega-6 polyunsaturated fats and the processes used to extract and refine them. Oh, that's moderation.
Yeah, you lost it already. Yeah.
No, it was. It's the
omega-6.
But point being, I feel like there's almost too much.
But omega-3s are
There's too much information out there.
Confusing.
I don't know if you guys are.
Anybody want one?
Trying to look around.
I'm chilling.
I'm good.
Anyone here like wearing an Oura ring?
No.
Okay, because like shit like that, I think is the example of like there's just too much information out there.
Yeah.
Like I know if I slept 6 hours, if I feel good in the morning, I probably slept good. Like people that are checking and tracking their sleep, like
Yes.
what do we do? Like I don't get that. I'm not trying to be an Oura ring hater. Like
I wore a Whoop watch.
You said tracking.
That's like heart rate and stuff. Like you're tracking your sleep.
Like no, it says your sleep. It says your recovery rate, how well you slept. I'm not kidding. I would get like 3% and be like, you're almost dead. Hands out.
Yeah,
I was
great.
When I was like at Hurt Island, I was like 20, fresh and 21, and just drinking a lot and hanging out with And dude, it was like we would all have them. We text each other like, "What was yours?" And I was like 6. Like, I was at 3. Like all of us.
What is like the red down? You slept like 3%.
Stop the thing.
I mean, no.
Well,
Did it die?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm probably in the unpopular opinion on that, but like
Oh, this guy?
the Oura rings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's cool.
what do you think? Just go sleep.
I don't know.
Yeah, right.
It's too much info. It's
Go
like,
to sleep.
what do you need to know? Like for the girls, it shows like when their period's about to start.
Well, I feel like that's important.
That
might be useful. You don't want to like start bleeding somewhere.
Yeah. All right, we're back. We're back.
Yeah.
Back in action.
What happens
again?
I don't know.
Periods versus good sleep.
Our next topic, something we know nothing about.
right?
Former or current athletes, listen up. These are the jeans designed for your life. You'll know that finding jeans that actually fit right is like finding a needle in a haystack. Mugsies are built for guys like us. They've designed jeans that stretch, flex, and actually move with you. I'm not even joking, they're the comfiest jeans I've ever worn. You can rock these on the ice, at the bar, or even at Sunday brunch with grandma. You'll still feel like you're in sweats, but you'll look sharp. So if you're tired of squeezing into jeans that feel like a punishment for having quads, Mugsy's got you covered. Get your pair and thank me later. Mugsy. Stretch denim for the win. So Johnny, last question. What advice would you give to people in their 20s?
You can go so many different ways with this, obviously. I don't know if this is like advice, but it's something that like helps calm me down a little bit. My friend Zach Greenberg told me this quote like probably 2 years ago. And it was like, and I'm paraphrasing here, life becomes much more easier to navigate when you realize that every adult is still a kid trying to figure it out. And that's like, kind of like what we were talking about before. When I was 24, I would have loved to be in this position. I probably would have thought if I was in this position, I'd have a lot figured out.
Yeah.
Still figuring out that next chapter. Our parents, our friends, everyone's still going through life for the first time, in different stages, right? So my friends who are married, like it might seem like they had it figured out, but they're now figuring out marriage.
Yeah.
So you're figuring out something always. And, maybe there are the select few people in the world who do have everything figured out. But for the most part, the people that you're around, everyone's trying to figure something out. And I think that helps you get through your stress. And maybe it makes it a little bit more stressful. Or like, once I tackle this, something else is going to come.
Yeah.
But I think just knowing that helps you just get through the day or each day. And, there's always going to be a next challenge. So I guess life's never as good as it seems. It's never as bad as it seems. And, each day is just a new day.
Nice.
Fire.
Keep it pushing.
Fire. Appreciate
All right.
that.
Thanks, Johnny.
We'll see you guys next
Thank you,
week.
guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, Johnny.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Peace.